Back with more defensive use of a firearm incidents. This one happened on March 20th in Houston, Texas. The victim was unharmed. One suspect was killed and another suspect was injured. One person is dead and another is in the hospital after a security guard fired shots outside a nightclub in the Sharpstown area overnight. Witnesses told police an armed security guard was escorting two people out of a nightclub just before 6 a.m. when one of them pulled out a gun. That's when the security guard pulled out his own weapon and shot at them. One person was pronounced dead at the scene, the other taken to the area hospital. Police did not say if any charges would be filed. Video from the scene showed the security guard talking to officers. Okay, that's something that happens a lot with the security guards and these people when they're trying to remove somebody from the building and the people just don't want to leave. A lot of times they leave and come back and fire. This time they, in the process of leaving, pulled out a gun on the security officer. So on March 19th in Baltimore, Maryland, victim was unharmed and the suspect was injured. This looks like another security guard story. Baltimore police are investigating a shooting in Fells Point where they said a security guard shot a man. According to police, the shooting happened shortly after closing time early Sunday morning along a major strip of bars in Fells Point. It's the same area that's seen major uptick in violence in recent years. Officers responded at 2:20 a.m. to investigate a shooting inside the Pie in the Sky pizza shop. Officers said once on the scene, officers found a man suffering from gunshot wounds. Police said a security guard and the man got into a fight before the shooting, and the guard shot the man. So that's another, security guard incident where the customer at the place is out of control and it leads to gunfire by the security guard. Also on March 19th in St. Louis, Missouri, this time the victim was injured. Victim and suspect exchanged shots during an attempted carjacking. A 67-year-old man was found shot outside a home in the 5400 block of Queens around 12:50 p.m. He had been shot in the right shoulder, left hand, and stomach. According to police, the man went into a home while a 63-year-old woman remained in a car's passenger seat. A white Hyundai sedan pulled alongside the car, and a man got out armed with a gun. The suspect opened the car door and demanded the car keys. The man who was inside the home then got out and saw the attempted robbery taking place, so he pulled out his own gun and got into a shootout with the suspect. After the shots were fired, the suspect got back into the car and drove off. The victim was taken to the hospital and listed in critical, stable condition. The woman was not injured. So that one, the guy gets in a shootout with the would-be carjacker, and he actually ends up getting injured in the process, which is a risk you take when you decide to get in a shootout with these guys. Hopefully he's okay. Let's go on to the Montgomery County Fairgrounds in Dayton, Ohio. This one was on March 18th. The victim was unharmed and the suspect was injured. And what do we got? Montgomery County Sheriff's deputies responded to a shooting at the fairgrounds Saturday afternoon. 3 people walked up to a person near their car outside the fairground, and that person fired shots. His description: I was sitting in the car and I was asleep. I had almost 3 guys with guns run up on me and try to bust my window. So my first instinct was I grabbed my gun and I shot. I hit one of them, I think. I don't know where they are. The 3 left the scene and one of them went to Miami Valley Hospital with unknown injuries. The fairgrounds had hosted a dog show that afternoon. Okay, so that guy, you really shouldn't just sit in your car anywhere. St. Louis probably even more so than a lot of places, but you really should not just sit in your car anywhere. You are a huge target if you're just sitting in your car. A lot of people get murdered, shot in their car. They get carjacked while sitting in their car. Sitting in your car these days is not advised. Okay, this one happened. This is the last one we'll do on this video. This one happened in Garland, Texas, also on March 18th. The victim was unharmed, and two suspects were killed in an armed home invasion. So we got 2 men have been shot and killed during a burglary at an apartment complex. Officers responded at approximately 2:30 a.m. to a burglary in progress. When officers got to the scene, they found 2 men who had suffered gunshot wounds. One of the men was inside an apartment residence and the other was outside. Police said paramedics responded to the scene as well, but both men died from their injuries. Garland police said the resident of the apartment told officers that the 2 men forced entry into his apartment and began shooting at him. The resident told the officers that he returned fire to defend himself. Dallas County Medical Examiner has not yet identified the men who were killed. Investigation is ongoing. So this is something that, and I hate to actually say this, but that we need more of. When these guys are busting into your house during home invasions, nobody's doing anything to stop this. And the penalties that the judicial system give these guys for doing this are so low that it's not enough to deter them from doing it. Half the time, they don't even serve jail time for this stuff. They can bust into your house, which will affect the person living in the house for the rest of their lives, and it has no effect on these guys whatsoever that are doing it. And they can bust in, and there's really no repercussions for doing so. And the only thing that's going to stop this stuff, the only thing is if these criminals are afraid of their victims. That's the only thing that's going to stop this, because they keep doing this stuff, and they'll keep doing it till they get away with it or till they get locked up. And since, the judicial system isn't locking anybody up, there's no fear on their part of them getting put in jail. If the criminal does not fear the police, a judge, or prison, he must be taught to fear his victim.